when we talk about the men and the women of Iron Group, the freedom formula is basically the process that we utilize within this. But a lot of people will come to our groups because of well, a myriad of different reasons. Burnout, overwhelm. They're kind of searching for that meaning, or life is going well within business and family, but like we just can't seem to get the traction, can't get the engine going in a direction. So everybody kind of finds us for a slightly different reason. But if I can just ask each of you guys just to touch on why you guys are doing good. Like, life is good, I think. That's just kind of the way that the story that I tell. My question is really for each of you, why do you feel that you got involved with Men and Women of Iron? And Emilia, I'm going to throw that one you first.
Okay. Well, I started first, so it's probably good that I go first. I had been following Ed for a while, and I followed Warrior, Garrett J. White, and I was always really pissed off at Garrett J. White because he only did stuff with men, and I'm kind of a woman who is very physical and likes to push myself and does a lot of personal development. And I was like, well, I want to do that. Why can't I do that? And so I pushed Jeremy to get Garrett's book, and so we have the book, but Jeremy never would do Warrior. And so when Ed started the Men and Women of Iron, I was really excited because now it was something that I could do that was very similar to Warrior. And, our lives were going really well. I mean, my practice was decent. His practice was good. But I just felt like something was missing. Like, I just felt a little bit lost. I knew there was something else I needed to be doing, but I wasn't sure what that was. And I think part of it was fear. I think I kind of knew what I needed to be doing, but I was really scared to acknowledge it. I was scared of what other people would think. I was scared of, what my family would think with me kind of doing some different things that maybe wasn't chiropractic. So I went to the Men and Women of Iron event in January was that this year? Yeah, of this year. And it just really changed so much about me. I got more confidence. I was more clear on the path that I wanted to take. I really just, it helped grow my business even. My chiropractic office now is booming. I have more confidence being a leader in my office, and that leadership skill was really lacking in me. So it just really helped bring out that leadership in me, so I know what I want to do and why I want to do it.
Cool. And your clarity and your certainty on those things is come a million miles. Yes. Has there been anything that has maybe been like an unexpected result from what you thought the process might be like? Is there anything that kind of was maybe not kind of what you thought it was going to be? Is there anything that kind of arose for you in that way?
Well, I guess I really didn't know 100% what I was getting into. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I knew I needed some direction, but I didn't know that I was going to gain clarity on a shift of what I was doing. Well, I love chiropractic and I'm still going to do it. Getting into the coaching and mentoring women, that was kind of on my radar, but it's progressed a lot quicker than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, I think that you go back to the should stories. You probably knew that for a long time, but you weren't able to see how to give yourself permission for that. That's just my observation.
Yes.
Okay. And what is one thing that you have really learned about yourself in this process? That's a tough question.
Good question.
I got to throw the dart right in your heart. And by the way, Jeremy's sitting right there he's preparing himself inside of himself.
I know. I guess the one thing I've really learned about myself is that I am enough, and that my experiences and what I have done with my life are enough, and I can help women with what they're going to, because I'm good enough. I'm a good enough chiropractor. I'm a good enough woman. I'm just good enough. And I think for so long, I thought I wasn't enough. And add any word you want to the end of I'm not blank enough, all of those.
What you're saying right now, Emilia, I think is important, because there's people that are coming into the group right now that are going through major life transitions. They're leaving relationships, businesses. They're walking out of things because they've felt like they should, like the stories of I should tolerate my business. the way that my business partners are running it. I should tolerate my relationship, even though it's probably even abusive. I should. Where you've been telling yourself, maybe I'm not good enough. Like, who am I to be a leader in this sort of realm? There's a lot of people that are coming into this going, who in the hell am I to choose the direction that I want to go in my life? And I'm leaving all of this back over here. It's a consistent theme, I think. We all have these should stories that just kind of keep us small from going in the direction that we want to go. And we all somewhere in there want to stay safe and secure. We all want to have that safe and secure piece. And that's ultimately what belittles us and keeps us small. So you're not alone in that situation, I think. Okay. Somebody is sitting on the fence, thinking about getting into this type of work. And now that you're stepping into the arena of coaching and teaching it, what's one thing that you could tell somebody that, like yourself, didn't quite, thought maybe this was like this big physical punishment thing, or doesn't quite know enough, or doesn't have quite the courage to maybe step into this type of an arena? What would you tell somebody that may be sitting on the fence that either wants to work with our group as a whole or with you in particular?
I guess the first thing would be to just ask yourself, who do you want to be? Are you being who you want to be? Are you showing up in life how you want to show up? Or do you want to be more? Do you want to show up better, stronger, more powerful, whatever word you want? And if the answer is yes, you do want to show up bigger, then what are you going to do about that? If it's working with us, is working with me, is that something that you feel could meet your end goal? If it is, then let's do it. Don't take a step back and think that you can't do it because it's a scary thing, because it's scary and it sucks and it hurts and it's hard. But no growth ever comes out of being comfortable. You have to get super uncomfortable if you want to grow and be who you're made to be.
I think what I hear out of that too is the pain of where you're at outweighing the pain of where you know you need to go.
Yep.
And do you want to try to figure that out on your own, or would you like to expedite the process and work with some badass people? I think is kind of what I heard out of you.
That's exactly right.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Now, I'll switch gears over to Jeremy just for a second. So you, again, we each have our individual reasons. Again, for me, I was at a point where I just, I couldn't figure my way out of my own rabbit hole. Life was good, business was good, family was amazing, but I was in a deep, dark place, and I was ready to burn it all down because I couldn't understand how logically to move in that general direction. I don't think I saw that in you, Jeremy. You just have this inner desire for growth and expansion. And why don't you tell people why did you feel compelled to engage yourself in this?
Well, really, like Emilia said, she encouraged me to get Warrior book or Explore Warrior. So I got the book, I read it, I fit into a lot of that. I watched her go through the program, and I watched her change almost immediately. I saw a change. I saw a switch, and I was like, wow, that's awesome. And I feel like, yes, things were good in my life. Business is good. The family's good. Probably could be a little better in some areas for sure. But I was really treading water because I'm constantly looking for growth. And I'm not quite squirrel, but, I do get distracted a little. And I really wanted to get out of my comfort zone and basically learn from some high-powered individuals, because I understood the process, how she was working with the group coaching, and I was extremely intrigued by that.
Cool. Okay, so along those lines, what have been, because you're not a rookie to business, you're not a rookie to families, you've had an amalgamated family, you've done more in a short period of time than most will in their entire lifetime, I think. Judgment story. What do you feel has been the biggest tangible result for you since starting into the process?
Identifying these stories I had in my life that was holding me back from really just feeling like more of a man as interesting as that is, yeah, those stories were holding me back. And man, when I started, you helped me identify those and bring those out and have a good understanding of why I was at where I was. It was life-changing, seriously.
We had a couple good conversations about family members, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
I think that's a good one. All right, and any unexpected, because you watched Emilia go through the process. You had a fairly good idea of the skills and the tools that we teach. Has there been anything else that was particularly unexpected, or has it been pretty much aligned with what you thought?
You know, probably the most unexpected thing that happened is the way I could open up in front of other men and really share myself, and being as vulnerable as honestly I've ever been in my entire life. I would have to say that at certain moments I felt that way. And it was, it's like this weight being lifted off your shoulders.
We as men don't like to have those conversations in general. So typically when you say, hey, listen, you might have to get vulnerable, most guys listening to this will actually go, well, I guess that's not for me. All right, I'm going to go get a six-pack. I'm going to go deal with that. I'm going to go deal with that in the back of the truck. Right? But yeah, no, you have no idea until you're able to do that and to actually have the safety and security with which to actually go, you know what, this fucking ain't working for me. Yeah, it's a good one. I like that. Good. All right. So what then, you've heard Emilia and I talk about this a little bit. You've seen people, I mean, I know that you've helped young docs that are coming up. You've got an incredible desire to have impact on people and be able to engage them at a level that you could speed up their process. I've seen this in you. So what would be one thing that you would tell someone that's sitting on the fence or thinking about engaging in this men and women of iron arena? What would you tell them if they're sitting on the fence right this moment?
I would tell them if they are lacking just what might seem like a minute amount of direction or certainty in what they're doing, you know, there are answers out there and you can accelerate that process. I feel like that may be a gift I have to help someone through any sort of business situation, and now even life, and connecting with my family, you know, my wife and my kids in a bigger way, and help them find that direction.
Awesome. It's all about, for me, what I hear is like that once you have the clarity precedes everything. If you're pulling that arrow back, trying to hit that animal that's moving with a blindfold on, it doesn't often work. But that clarity really, really helps. And then being able to have tools to get traction in that direction so that you don't get distracted, and to be able to pull results forwards in a way that creates freedom as opposed to just more work and imprisonment is kind of the way that I look at it, is huge for young docs and young people that are coming up through the ranks. Because I see a lot of people just working harder and harder and not really getting more of what it is that they need, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. All right. Well, listen, you two, thank you guys both very much. Appreciate it. And I hope that even just one person will benefit from listening to our conversation. Thank you guys, and have a wonderful weekend. Cheers, you guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye for now.